This is my catnip plant. I'm just growing it in a pot on my deck. I have lots of pots on my deck. I actually do have a backyard where I could plant a garden, but I didn't. My backyard is mostly shaded and it's hilly and it gets very wet. It's just not the best gardening space, so it's easier just for me to garden on my deck. It's just the two of us, so I don't need tons. I do hope one day to have a house that has a flat backyard, and I would definitely have a bigger garden, but for now this works out. So this catnip is starting to flower, and you know when it's starting to flower, you can start harvesting. If you want to dry it, you can harvest it like anytime when it, just pull a couple leaves to give to your cat. But if you want it to grow back a second time in the same year, everything I read said to harvest it after the flowers started to form. So it is like the first week of July. It's getting too tall. As you can see, it's starting to lay down to the side, and so I think it's the perfect time to harvest. I am going to dry it. I have been pulling leaves here and there to give to the cat, but we do, even before I grew catnip, I bought a lot of catnip. So to be able to dry it myself instead of spending tons of money at the pet store to buy it is kind of exciting. Never done this before. We'll see if it works. The idea is to dry the leaves completely dry and crumble it up into flakes and then sprinkle it on their cat scratching toys, or make a couple fabric toys and fill it with catnip. So we'll see if that works. So anyway, I'm just gonna cut it down until there's 2 or 3 inches still sticking up so it can grow back. Let's see. I got scissors. Let's see if I can do this, or if I'm gonna have to. There we go. So yep, that's all I'm gonna do. Go through. I'm not cutting it all the way down because I do want it to grow. And like I said, I'm not for sure if this is gonna work. It's just what I read on the internet, so we'll see. I think they also might be curving like this. See how it's curving down? I actually had a squirrel that loved to get into my plants, or I'm sure I say like it's not still a problem. I have a squirrel that likes to get into my plants, and so I think he just kept squishing this plant down. Maybe squirrels also like the smell of catnip. Let's see. Yeah, this one's broken. It tells, I really think it was the squirrel that got into the plant. It smells good. Let's see. A nice bowl full. All right, let me finish trimming this and then I will take it inside. I do actually have a dehydrator, but I'm not going to use that. I actually read a simple method of using your oven that's a lot quicker, so I'm just going to try the oven method, just to show people who don't have dehydrators. You don't always need a fancy dehydrator. We all have ovens, and ovens work just as well. All right, here's my catnip plant, pruned down, looking very sad. I don't really have high hopes of it growing back one more time. I hope so. I'll let you guys know if it works or not. Supposedly it'll come back a second time, so you can harvest more, but I don't know. Looking kind of sad, and it's July and it's gonna be hot, but I'll keep it watered, see if these pruned stalks survive. The instructions online said put it in the oven at 150 degrees for 10 minutes with the oven door slightly cracked. The lowest my oven will go is 170 degrees. And yeah, I'm just putting it on a cookie sheet. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do it in several batches because you're supposed to spread it out in a single layer. And it said something about you can dry the stems too, but I'm just gonna do this first batch with the leaves because I feel like it would take longer with the stems and I wanna be able to crumble up easier. So I'm just doing the leaves. So let's see what happens at 10 minutes at 170 degrees. This is 10 minutes at 170. Definitely not dry at all. Oh, that one's getting a little crunchy. So they're getting there. The directions did say it would take 10 minutes, so nope, it's gonna take more than 10 minutes. This is much better. I did it for 5 more minutes. Okay. I was gonna say they're all crunchy. There's a bunch that are crunchy, but there's still a couple that are soft. So let me do 1 more minute. That was an additional 5 minutes. So far it's been 15 minutes. I left it in to finish out the 10 minutes. So altogether it's been in the oven at 20 minutes. I did up it to 200 just because I just felt like 170 wasn't doing anything. Everyone's oven is different. So the instructions online said 150, but everyone's oven is different. So I'm perfectly happy with the 200 and it's very crunchy. So 20 minutes at 200 seems to be what works for my oven. And so now I'm gonna put another sheet in. I could be doing more than 1 sheets at once, but I just wanted to see this first one as a test. So now I think I'll grab a couple more cookie sheets and do a bunch at once. Here is all the dried catnip, nice and crunchy. I'm gonna let it cool down and then I'm gonna crunch it up into more smaller flakes. So it looks like typical catnip you buy at the store. And so what worked best for me was 20 minutes at 200 degrees. So yeah, so glad I read that people dehydrate in their oven because 20 minutes in the oven is a lot quicker than 6 hours in a dehydrator. And of course, you know, it looks a lot less when it's dehydrated, but it'll be enough to fill a jar, hopefully. I will show that at the end, crunch it down and put it in a glass jar to store it. Sunny, are you excited? I'm making you some catnip. She loves the catnip the most. All 3 cats enjoy it, but she loves it the most. We have several little cat toys that when they are refreshed with catnip, she just smacks them all over the place. Here is the catnip completely dried and just crushed with my hands. It's very easy to crush with my hands. So that big bowl made this half of a jar. But hopefully I'll get another batch in October. And it's just extremely strong. And it was pretty easy to do this. So I think I would definitely grow catnip again, especially since I have 3 cats and they love it. Not every cat loves catnip, but all 3 of mine do. So this will definitely save me money in the long run because catnip from the pet store is not cheap. Thanks for watching and I will see you later.